Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. Deceiver! I'm sorry, no, that line's actually supposed to go, Blasphemer! From Uncle Buck. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember hearing that line before, but...
That was, it was whenever the kids were in school, and the youngest daughter, I forget her name, she stands up, she's like, how come you didn't get your homework done? And then she goes, you want to know why? Because my goddamn dog ate it. And then the teacher stands up and goes, Blasphemer! And then also it was the infamous one where this superintendent of the school had this gigantic mole on her cheek. And he's just like, you know what? I clearly see you don't care about kids. Tell you what, here's a nickel. Go pay a rat to gnaw that thing off your face.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah. Uncle Buck's such a great comedy.
It's been a long ass time since I saw it. It was back on Comedy Central when I still watched cable.
Well, we got 5 more episodes to wrap this thing up after this one. Guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get this up on screen. Here we go. She's faking it. A brick and a sock. She's killed him.
Yep.
Reiner. Indoctrinated little shit. You are more prejudiced than you even know. Oh boy. All of her perceptions of the Marleyans that she was taught is now crumbling right before her very eyes. She's seeing that they're human. They're not devil.
The Marleyans.
Or not the Paradisians, sorry. But she's seeing that the Paradisians aren't in fact devils.
And she still thinks they are, though.
She does, but she does, but at the same time, she's being treated with kindness. She didn't expect this at all. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I think Reiner pretty much had the exact same way of thinking, and then after being around them for so long, and then the level of betrayal that he did to his friends, pretty much mentally destroyed him. I think Gabby's going to go through the exact same thing. Falco seems to be more receptive to the idea that not all Paradisians are devils, but Gabby is completely indoctrinated because of how well she was regarded by higher command by Marley, and seen as like the next step in the Warriors program.
I think this is why I've heard a lot of people say that she's annoying to them.
Well, she's annoying, but at the same time, I can understand it because when you're indoctrinated that deep, it's hard to break that cycle because I've witnessed people, like, I have family members who, for the life of me, I've known a lot of my life, still think that certain human groups are subhuman. Not going to elaborate any more on that, but needless to say, I almost want nothing to do with them. I try to convince them. I try to show them. I try and say, "Hey, you've got the wrong idea. Your ass backwards way of thinking on this shit." But they don't care. They have their idea in their head. They're content with it, and damn anyone who tries to tell them different. And I think Gabby's having that moment in this era of desperation that she's having, and it's eating away at her.
I'm wondering if that's the point that the author of the story is trying to get across to people to an extent. Like, it's a lesson he's trying to maybe teach with this, is because, like, nothing against Japan or anything, but, like, there are a lot of Japanese people that are apparently extremely xenophobic to places outside of Japan.
Oh, they are, yeah.
And they're always kind of, like, questioning people who come over and...
Dude, there's certain areas of Japan that still have anti-miscegenation laws. Anti-miscegenation, by the way, is interracial marriage, which is frowned upon in certain areas. But
maybe he's trying to throw forth a point that it's like it's hard to convince some people to leave that train of thought once they've been raised that way their entire life. Everybody's getting suspicious of the way they're acting, for sure.
Hovercraft? I don't even know if she thinks she can trust herself at this point. So, of course, she's not going to say that directly to him.
See,
that's the deification that Eren did not want. Was that
back when he saved her?
Yeah.
From those dudes?
Yeah. Because he saved her. Ouch.
One could possibly argue karma as well.
ここにいる人は孤児だからね。女王の方針で行き場のない子供には支援があるから。罪を受け入れてないようですね。この島の民は世界に対して残虐非道の限りを尽くした歴史を。
Oh, for God's sakes, Gabby, shut the fuck up.
一人一人が罪の自覚を正しく持つことで。マーレではそう教えられてるんだ。何言ってんだよ。これは普遍的な歴史の話だから。今なんて言いました？君たちはマーレから来たんでしょ。自分で叫んでたじゃない。え？あ、じゃあ最初からが言ってくれないんですか？
Gabby. Gabby. Island Devils? Okay, first off, Gabby, you're the one who reached for the pitchfork and tried to stab her.
Yep.
Jesus,
like,
criminy.
She can't even see that she's the one that's the most acting like a devil right now.
Yes. She's the one that Sasha saved. Remember?
I think so.
Her mother was getting eaten by the Titan, and then the Titan...
Exactly. And that was a century ago. Yep.
Like I told you. I remember that, dude.
I remember it.
God, season 2. So long ago.
I want so bad for her to somehow figure out that that girl is the one she fucking shot, too. So ironic.
God, dude, the person that Sasha saved also has taken in the person that killed Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked, dude.
対人型に改良された立体起動装置には操作線に同志を忍ばせたのだ。エルディア復権派の同志をな、今から半年以内にパラディ島に世界連合軍による掃討作戦を行う。ジークもそう考えるでしょう。大打撃を受けたマーレ軍はすぐさま攻勢に転じることはないと。世界連合軍を待ってはいられません。今すぐにパラディ島を奇襲すべきです。
Shit.
Damn. Okay, so this was a hell of an episode.
It's a pretty sure the next one's going to be a hell of a lot more of an episode.
Oh, I know, because it's just like what. Like, I wonder what plan Reiner has to go and get Gabby and Falco back.
So Godfather Anthony has been telling me he's excited for us to get to a certain point because it's going to be cray. And he said it should be coming up soonish. He said probably not like this next episode, maybe the one after that or the one after that. And he's like, it's going to get crazy. And I'm like, that's probably why.
That's probably the reason. Yeah. So, above all, this episode just, it shows you the cycle of war and the cycle of indoctrination, how Gabby is so entrenched in the indoctrination that she doesn't see. And look, here's the thing. Everyone wants to say, oh, but your past sins. You're holding people responsible for something that they literally had nothing to do with.
Something they weren't alive for.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like holding, for instance, that's like holding the meteor all asteroids responsible for killing the dinosaurs. It's about the same level of pointlessness. Like,
it's like basically, like to give an example from outside our own country, just because I don't want to raise the whole political debate inside our own country. It's like holding all current Germans responsible for the Holocaust. It's fucked. You don't fucking do that.
You know what the big problem with that is? That Dwight D. Eisenhower, the commander of the army in Europe, would have been held like that. You know why? Because his ancestry was German, 100%. So you would have been holding your general responsible for the actions of what the country that his ancestors came from did. How is that right? And here's the thing: I know people are going to try and throw some falsehood logic in there. It's just like, well, he's associated with the people because that's where his family came from. Nits become lice. No, don't go on that.
That's exactly what the show is trying to show people is a bunch of bullshit.
It is, and there's people out there who are going to say, "Man, I can't believe they're trying to convince people. People who are from this group aren't inherently evil." It's like, yeah.
It's showing. Guess what? You're a racist if you think shit like that.
Exactly. You are hardline.
I don't care who you thinking about. That's racist.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you think of that way about anyone from any country, any religion, any gender, anything. Guess what? You're wrong. If you think people from it's like, oh, X group over here, they're inherently evil. And here's the thing: doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you're talking about. That's evil. You are the person who is evil for thinking that.
And we're talking about stuff you can't choose too, by the way.
Exactly.
I would say that X group of people of a certain belief, yes,
because you can change your religion.
If you choose to be a Nazi, yeah, you're probably evil.
Yes,
that's one of the few exceptions. If you choose
to join up with the Gestapo or the SS,
we're not saying oh, they're still Nazis. You shouldn't be thinking they're bad. No, if you've prescribed yourself to the Nazi viewpoint, at that point, yeah, you're probably a piece of shit.
Yes,
you are definitely a piece of shit.
Which is sort of what's happened with Gabby.
I'm just saying things you can't choose. Your race, even in a lot of cases, definitely in a lot of cases, people don't actually choose their religion. There are quite a few countries that's their culture.
Like a state religion.
That's how they get brought up, and there's even governments that tell them that they're not allowed to believe anything else other than that. And that doesn't necessarily make them a bad person, for any reason. Even if their religion has done horrible things to people in the past, that's not them. Unless they personally have done something horrible to you, there's no reason you should think that they're an asshole.
Yeah. And that's, but you see, that's the whole thing. That's the groupthink mentality that has taken over nowadays it's baffling to me how many people have just bought into it hook, line, and sinker. It's because it's easy.
To me how freaking hypocritical it is in so many situations too, because there'll be so many situations where people will outright defend a lot of groups of their choosing, and then turn around and say another whole group of people is just mostly pieces of shit, or needs to be held responsible for things that they weren't even alive for and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's you need to stop being hypocritical and realize that that's just a bad practice in general to put anything on a whole group of people.
Well, and here's the one thing about it, the whole thing with, people being held responsible for previous generations. I I keep hearing people say that, and it's always from people who are massively benefiting from it and yet don't want to talk about their... For instance, I hear Jay-Z saying, oh, we need to be more like China, we need to be more like this, we need to be more like that. The dude's literally a billionaire, and he's trying to tell us how to direct ourselves financially when it was capitalism is what gave him his wealth.
Is he really a billionaire?
Yes. Well, at least worth $500 million. I know that. At least that's what it was a few years ago when I looked at his net worth. Let's see.
Yeah, 1.35 billion. Jesus Christmas.
What?
1.35 billion. I didn't know you could make that much money off of music.
Oh yeah, dude. Him and Beyonce are both worth. I think Beyonce's actually worth $1 billion as well.
That's the reason there's all these fucking people that think that like metal artists like have a bunch of money and shit. It's like they're thinking of mainstream music.
Well,
it doesn't work
here's
out
the
the
thing.
same way for other genres of music.
Jay-Z and Beyonce have done a great job networking themselves. Yeah, she's worth $500 million. They've done a great job networking themselves. They made smart, savvy investments. Am I going to hold them responsible for, taking advantage of the capitalist system? No. They played the game. They won. I'm not going to be angry at them. Like, that's one thing. I hear, every time I hear Jay-Z talking shit, it's just like, man, the rich need to pay taxes. I'm like, does that include you? Like, because in all honesty, I don't...
You got $1 billion or over $1 billion. You're part of that group, man.
Yeah. You're not the underdog anymore. Guess what? You're not the Boston Red Sox. You're the New York Yankees. You're not the underdog anymore, homie. I'm sorry. But, yeah, hold another retirement party, why don't you? Jesus. Anyway, this was Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 11, The Deceiver. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully we will see you all in the next one. So until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
We'll see you then, everyone. Peace out.